Michelle Obama. U.S. First Lady, lawyer, 1964. Michelle Obama is the wife of former U.S. President Barack Obama. Prior to her role as First Lady, she was a lawyer, Chicago City Administrator and Community. Who is Michelle Obama? Michelle Obama was born in 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. She attended Princeton University, graduating cum laude in 1985, and went on to earn a degree from Harvard Law School in 1988. Following her graduation from Harvard, she worked at a Chicago law firm, where she met her husband, future U.S. President Barack Obama. The couple married on October 3, 1992. As First Lady, she focused her attention on current social issues, such as poverty, healthy living and education. Michelle Obama as a child. Michelle Obama was born Michelle LaVartan Robinson on January 17, 1964, in Chicago, Illinois. Michelle was raised in a small bungalow on Chicago's South Side. Her father, Fraser Robinson, was a city pump operator and a Democratic precinct captain. Her mother, Marion, was a secretary at Spiegel's but later stayed home to raise Michelle and her older brother, Craig. They were close. Craig and Michelle, 21 months apart in age, were often mistaken for twins. The siblings also shared close quarters, sleeping in the living room with a sheet serving as a makeshift room divider. They were raised with an emphasis on education and had learned to read at home by age 4. Both skipped the 2nd grade. Michelle Obama education. By the 6th grade, Michelle was taking classes in her school's gifted program, where she learned French and completed accelerated courses in biology. She went on to attend Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, the city's first magnet high school for gifted children, where, among other activities, she served as a student government treasurer. In 1981, Michelle graduated from the school as class salutatorian. Following in her older brother's footsteps, Michelle then attended Princeton University, graduating cum laude in 1985 with a BA in sociology. She went on to study law at Harvard Law School, where she took part in demonstrations calling for the enrollment and hiring of more minority students and professors. She was awarded her JD in 1988. Marriage to Barack Obama. After law school, Michelle worked as an associate in the Chicago branch of the firm Sidley Austin, in the area of marketing and intellectual property. It was there, in 1989, that she met her future husband, Barack Obama, a summer intern to whom she was assigned as an advisor. Initially, she refused to date Barack, believing that their work relationship would make the romance improper. She eventually relented, however, and the couple soon fell in love. After 2 years of dating, Barack proposed, and the couple married at Trinity United Church of Christ on October 3, 1992. Their daughters, Malia and Sasha, were born in 1998 and 2001, respectively. Hi. In 1991, Michelle decided to leave corporate law and pursue a career in public service, working as an assistant to Mayor Richard Daley and then as the Assistant Commissioner of Planning and Development for the City of Chicago. In 1993, she became Executive Director for the Chicago Office of Public Allies, a non-profit leadership. In 1996, Michelle joined the University of Chicago as Associate Dean of Student Services, developing the school's first community. In May 2005, Michelle was appointed Vice President for Community and External Affairs at the University of Chicago Medical Center, where she continued to work part. On the campaign trail. Michelle Obama first caught the eye of a national audience while at her husband's side when he delivered a high. In 2007, Michelle scaled back her own professional work to attend to family and campaign obligations during Barack's run for the Democratic presidential nomination. When they were out on the trail, they would leave their daughters with their grandmother Marion, Michelle's mother. Barack Obama eventually won the nomination and was elected the 44th President of the United States. Obama was inaugurated on January 20, 2009. When her husband sought re-election in 2012, facing a challenging race against Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney, Michelle Obama diligently campaigned on his behalf. She traveled the country, giving talks and making public appearances. Michelle Obama speech. In September of that year, Michelle delivered a noteworthy speech at the Democratic National Convention. "Every day, the people I meet inspire me. Every day they make me proud. Every day they remind me how blessed we are to live in the greatest nation on earth," she said. "Serving as your First Lady is an honor and a privilege." She went on to praise the Latino community for supporting President Obama, and stated that her husband, the same man she fell in love with all those years ago, understands the American dream, as well as the everyday struggles of American families, and cares deeply about making a difference in people's lives. Michelle won both public and critical praise for her narrative, called a shining moment by the Washington Post. On November 6, 2012, Barack Obama was Michelle Obama fashion. After her husband's political role pushed the Obama family into the spotlight, Michelle was publicly recognized for her no. In May 2006, Michelle was featured in Essence magazine as one of 25 of the world's most inspiring women. In September 2007, Michelle was included in 2138 magazine as number 58 in the Harvard 100, a yearly list of the school's most influential alumni. She has also twice appeared on the cover of Vogue and made the Vanity Fair Best Dressed list 2 years in a row, as well as People magazine's 2008 Best. During the inauguration ceremony for her husband's second term, on January 21, 2013, Michelle and her daughters received attention for their fashion choices, which included clothes from Tom Brownie, J. Crew and Kate Spade. Michelle also drew praise for the red Jason Wood dress she wore during the subsequent events. Issues and causes. As First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama focused her attention on issues such as the support of military families, helping working women balance career and family, and encouraging national service. During the first year of the Obama presidency, Michelle and her husband volunteered at homeless shelters and soup kitchens in the Washington, D.C. area. Michelle also made appearances at public schools, stressing the importance of education and volunteer work. Ever conscious of her family's diet and health, Michelle supported the organic food movement, instructing the White House kitchens to prepare organic food for guests and her family. In March 2009, Michelle worked with 23 fifth graders from a local school in Washington, D.C. to plant an 1,100 square. Michelle Obama remained committed to her health, and this year, 1.7 million young people will be participating in Olympic and Paralympic sports in their communities, many of them for the very first time. And that is so important, because sometimes all it takes is that first lesson, or clinic, or class to get a child excited about a new sport, she said in a statement. Putting her message in print, Michelle released a book as part of her mission to promote healthy eating. American Grown: The Story of the White House Kitchen Garden and Gardens Across America, 2012, explores her own experience creating a vegetable garden, as well as the work of community gardens elsewhere. She told Reuters that she saw the book as an opportunity to help readers understand where their food was coming from and to talk about the work that we're doing with childhood obesity and childhood health. Support for Hillary Clinton. In July 2016, former First Lady, Senator and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton became the official Democratic nominee for the American presidency, becoming the first woman in the U.S. to win a major political party's presidential nomination. On the first night of the Democratic National Convention, Michelle spoke in support of Clinton, who had previously run against Barack Obama during the 2008 primaries, and her vision of a progressive America. I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves, and I watch my daughters, two beautiful, intelligent, black young women, playing with their dogs on the White House lawn, she said. And because of Hillary Clinton, my daughters, and all our sons and daughters, now take for granted that a woman can be President of the United States. Obama continued to campaign for Clinton, speaking out forcefully against the campaign of Republican candidate Donald Trump, who went on to win the presidential election. On January 13, 2017, Obama made her final speech as First Lady at the White House, saying, "Being your First Lady has been the greatest honor of my life, and I hope I've made you proud." In an emotional moment, she addressed young Americans. "I want our young people to know that they matter, that they belong. So don't be afraid. You hear me, young people? Don't be afraid. Be focused. Be determined. Be hopeful. Be empowered. Empower yourself with a good education. Then get out there and use that education to build a country worthy of your boundless promise. Led by example with hope. Never fear." After leaving the White House, Obama remained highly sought after for her words of wisdom. In November 2017, during a conversation with poet Elizabeth Alexander at the Obama Foundation's inaugural Youth Leadership Summit in Chicago, she spoke about the problems with impulsively firing off thoughts on social media. "When you have a voice, you can't just use it any kind of way, you know," she said. "You don't just say what's on your mind. You don't tweet every thought. Most of your first initial thoughts are not worthy of the light of day." It was believed to be a rebuke of President Trump, a notorious Twitter devotee, though Obama clarified that she was talking about all of us. The former First Lady also addressed the topic of protecting women from sexual harassment, a hot. "When we think about women in particular, we ask them to speak up. We ask them to speak their mind. We ask them to just say no, to speak out against sexual harassment," Obama said. "But if we don't teach our young girls to speak at an early age, that doesn't just happen. It takes practice to have a voice. You have to use it again, and again, and again before you can say no. Or stop. Don't touch me." First family. Both Michelle and Barack Obama have stated that their personal priority is their two daughters, Malia and Sasha. The parents realized that the move from Chicago to Washington, D.C. would be a major adjustment for any family. Residing in the White House, having Secret Service protection and always being in the wake of their parents' public obligations dramatically transformed their lives. Both parents tried to make their daughters' world as normal as possible, with set times for studying, going to bed and getting up. "My first priority will always be to make sure that our girls are healthy and grounded," Michelle has said. "Then I want to help other families get the support they need, not just to survive, but to thrive."